All right, 6 days into the war on Iran, the United States has just incidentally tested a very, very advanced and long-range weapon that is nicknamed the Doomsday missile. This is called the Minuteman 3, that's the official name. It's an intercontinental ballistic missile that's been tested just now that can, and hear this, reach any place on Earth. It's an ICBM, or an intercontinental ballistic missile, with an eye-watering 13,000-kilometer range. The US has tested its longest-range nuclear-capable delivery system called the Minuteman 3 and is nicknamed the Doomsday missile, and has just tested this at this point of time. Vishnu Shom is live with me. Vishnu, Minuteman 3, 13,000-kilometer range. I would ask about the timing, why now, but tell us more about this and why now.
Well, I think the US has said that the tests have nothing to do with the war with Iran at this particular juncture. Donald Trump has in the past said that he retains the right to restart nuclear testing. But be that as it may, this isn't a nuclear test. It's a test of a ballistic missile which is designed to carry a nuclear warhead. These are standard tests. India, for example, carries out tests of our Agni series of missiles all the time. But I think this is certainly a signal as well that, look, American firepower can get more and more extreme, and Iran would certainly be watching this very, very carefully. But this is something that is designed to carry a nuclear warhead. The weapons that America is striking Iran with are different weapons, and Iran, all of it is well within the range of the American Air Force, the US Navy, and of course local ballistic missiles that they have of a shorter range, and indeed a variety of cruise missiles. So this is a test of American capability. It sends a broader signal. Russia would certainly be watching it. China would certainly be watching it. The timing, perhaps no coincidence. It sort of shows to Iran how serious American intent can be. But I would suggest that this is nothing more than a test at this stage.
And Vishnu, the 13,000-kilometer range makes it easily one of the longest range systems ever tested. Apart from the messaging itself, and of course, weapons of mass destruction, the message is the message, right? But the question I want to also ask is, what would this kind of a range actually be meaningful for? And secondly, isn't it more about the technology of the system rather than the range in the modern battlefield? Whether it can evade modern defenses. Are there defenses against such a long-range, nuclear-capable weapon system?
Well, I think part of the technology is the range, and you need that technology to get to that range that you actually seek. There has to be, very precise rocketry which is involved in this. This is a missile with multiple stages. I'm not sure how many MIRV or multiple independent re-entry vehicles it can carry, but I believe as a result of, agreements on limiting each other's ballistic missiles, this would not necessarily carry a large number of multiple independent re-entry vehicles, which are essentially mini nuclear weapons which deploy from this as it approaches a particular target. The technology, of course, over here is extremely sophisticated. It defines or represents the cutting edge of America's nuclear prowess, all of it. But like all weapon systems, forces need to train on it, and this was likely, a trial, a test done at a time when there is a great deal of global tension.
Vishnu, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much. Very compelling pictures, as always, coming out from the US military these days, from the war. This one from the mainland United States as well. We'll keep you posted on everything that comes out from the Pentagon.